Hello everyone, this is a continuation video of the last topic, that is verification of simulation models, which we are seeing in the fifth model, that is verification and validation. So we'll continue with the topic. So verification of simulation models, here make the operational model as self-documenting as possible. So if the operational model is animated, verify that what is seen in the animation imitates the actual system. So we have to compare the actual system with the animated system. So if it reflects the same or if it is almost the same, then we tell that it is verified and it is good for using. So the interactive run controller or the debugger is an essential component of the successful simulation model building. So debugger means always it checks for the errors. So similarly here also we have interactive run controller in order to check whether the simulated model is the replica of the actual model or no. If there are any errors or if there are any mistakes done, then the interactive run controller will tell the users or the analysts to correct for those errors. So even the best of the simulation analysts make the mistakes or commits the logical errors when building a model. So even when there are best of best analysts also, there is a possibility of making some errors. So if those errors occur, so they may be the logical errors. If we are using some simulation language in order to develop the simulation model, then some logical errors may occur in building a model. So this IRC assists in finding and correcting those types of errors in the following ways. So how it does, we will see now. The simulation can be monitored as it progresses. So as the simulation or model building progresses, then in each and every step it can be checked for the errors if there are any errors. Checking at a time may result in incorrect detection of the errors. So where and when the model has been in progress, then there and then the interactive run controller can go for the checking of the errors. Attention can be focused on a particular line of logic or multiple lines of logic that constitute a procedure or a particular entity. So if we concentrate or if we check for only one particular entity, and whatever programming or the logic is based on that particular entity, we can go for that checking. So if everything is correct with that particular entity, then we can go for the progress in the model. So or else we have to check for it like line by line or multiple lines together, and then come to a conclusion whether it is satisfied or no. Values of the selected model components can be observed. When the simulation has paused, the current value or the status of the variables, attributes, queues, resources, counters, etc. can be observed. So here the values of the selected model components can be observed. Only the for that particular moment, in a real-time system, for some particular moment, there will be some certain set of values which can be observed, and that will be related with the ongoing process. That is in the simulation model, whatever we have developed, if we give some inputs to that, whatever the possible values we are getting at that particular point, that is nothing but we can also name it as a status of the system at that particular point. So we can go with the current value or status of the variables, attributes, queues, resources, and all these can be observed at some particular point of time. The simulation can be temporarily suspended or paused, not only to weave information but also to reassign values or redirect entities. So there is one more possibility or one more advantage, like the simulation, whatever it is ongoing, it can be paused or it can be temporarily suspended and then reassumed, or when by giving the new information or by reassigning the values or the to redirect the entities. So these are the advantages, like we can go with the simulation model. Graphic interfaces are recommended for accomplishing verification and validation. Graphical user interface, we all know about it. It will be very useful and user friendly. So those type of interfaces can be used in order to validate and verify the simulation model. So once we are clear with the verification, then we have to go for the validation of the models. So calibration and the validation of the models means we are going to calculate some of the values, whether it is according to our given data or no. So first moving to the calibration and the validation of the models, verification and validation, although are conceptual distinct, usually are conducted simultaneously by the modeler. That is, both the verification as well as validation, both are different. So they both are not same, but still both are conducted at the same time or simultaneously by the modeler in order to check if there are any errors or no. So validation is the overall process of comparing the model and its behavior to the real system and its behavior. So what is validation? Validation is the overall process of comparing the model and its behavior to the real system and its behavior. So verification means checking whether the model is matching along with the real system or no. Whereas the validation means overall process of comparing the model and its behavior to the real time system and its behavior. Calibration is the interactive process. So in this again we come across two things. One is calibration, the other one is a validation. So first moving to the calibration. Calibration is a iterative process. So iterative process means in each iteration we go on checking for whatever is the input, according to that input whether we are getting the output or no. So calibration is the iterative process of comparing the model to the real system, making adjustments to the model, comparing again and so on. If any changes are recommended, then again going to that changes and then again once again going for the test or validating it. So that is nothing but the calibration. Calibration means it is a iterative process. In each and every iteration, we change something and what are the resulting outputs we get after changing those values. So that is calibration. Then what we does in the calibration and the validation is comparison of the model to the real system. So whatever model we have developed till now, that will be compared with the real system. There are two types of tests. So one is subjective test, the other one is the objective test we are going to do here. So subjective tests means people who are knowledgeable about the system. So they will do these tests. So who are already knowing about the system, how it works, what are the changes we make, what are the outputs we get. So who will be having the complete knowledge of the system, so they will be going for the subjective test. Objective test means requires data on the real system's behavior and the output of the model. So objective testing means actually we are going to work with the data. So requires the data on the real system's behavior and the output of the model. So whatever data is available in the real system, that will be given to the model and we will be checking with the output what we get in the model. So that is about the two types of tests. So those two tests are subjective tests and objective tests. As an aid in the validation process, Naylor and Finger formulated a three-step approach which has been widely followed. So here for validation purpose, we have three different steps which have been formulated by the scientists called as Naylor and Finger. So this Naylor and Finger formula, it consists of three-step approach in order to validate the system. So we'll see what are those three steps. So those three steps are given here. Build a model that has high face validity and validate the model assumptions. Compare the model input output transformations to corresponding input output transformations for the real system. So first step is build a model that has a high face validity. Okay, so we have to build the model such that it will be like validated each and every time and validate the model assumptions. If we are going to assume some new things which are not there in the real system, so that new assumptions can be checked or validated in the model. And the third step is compare the model input output transformation to corresponding input output transformation for the real system. So in the third step, actually what we are going to do is we are going to give the input and we go check the output in the real model and also sorry, in the model, and also we are going for the real system, and in real system also we go and check with the same input and output. Then we check with compare with whatever output we are getting in the real system with that of the model. So we can come to know what are the differences or what is the critical values which is either satisfied by the model or no.